Jessica, and one of our family holiday traditions is that we, on Christmas Eve, all get a personalized ornament for our Christmas tree.
And my name is Brittany, and another family tradition that we have is on Christmas Eve we eat Chinese food.
My name is Lachlan, and my tradition's a little longer. My family all go to like a Target or a Dollar General, and we each get a certain amount of money, like $5, $20, whatever. And we draw Secret Santa names between all of my siblings, and then we each have to run around the store Secret Santaing for each other without revealing whatever we are purchasing for the other. It's pretty great.
I love that.
I love that. That's awesome.
And guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna make a bad Hallmark movie.
Woo!
Heyo!
Welcome to the 7 days of Coltsmas.
Woo-hoo!
We are back with our now annual holiday series, I guess you can call it, for cult classics. Coltsmas is now officially a holiday.
It is.
I'm decreeing this now.
Once you've done it twice, it's a holiday.
It's a holiday.
I will say, I think the thing about holidays is it takes thousands of years for traditions to develop and for like the structure of a holiday to happen. And we decided in a year that it's no longer 12 days.
Nope. We're making some edits this year. We're refining the idea
a holiday. It's an
Coltsmas. Art. The first run was good, but it needed some tweaks.
Yes.
So it is no longer 12 days because that would be copying a pop culture song.
Well, 12 days is based off of, I believe, like Catholic Christmas and also
right.
Yule.
Yeah.
I think it's like real things. What we're doing is Coltsmas.
Yes, so we're making it our own. It's 7 days.
It's a different thing.
It is a different thing. So it's 7 days.
7 days of bad Hallmark movies. I feel like here's the thing that I wanna talk a little bit about. Like, we need to really decide what the the nitty-gritty of the holiday is. Because let me just say this. As someone who has created several holidays, you have to be all about the details. So if you know some of the things I've done, I have a holiday that I did with a group of people when we were creating a project that I was working on. It was a little thing I did to kind of keep morale up while we were working on it. But this year, in 2021, I introduced Tempo di Pasta, which is a holiday that happens in May where you eat a big pasta meal and pasta gifts and that kind of stuff. So I'm very well versed in making a holiday.
Okay.
Obviously, Tempo di Pasta came after Coltsmas. So like Coltsmas was the first run, but I got a good idea of like what do you need to do. So you need to have an establishment of like what it's about. Okay. So Coltsmas is about bad Hallmark movies. I would say like bad holiday movies. Because we're talking Hallmark, Lifetime, Netflix, like all of those. I'm going to sit down and I know the structure of the story already. I know exactly what's going to happen, even if it's a brand new movie. Yep. And then, so you got to sit down and watch that. So I feel like that's part of it. Like you have to, with Coltsmas, watch an actual holiday movie.
Yes.
But it doesn't have to be 7 of them.
No, just at least one.
Once.
And then listen to all of
It can be if you're a masochist.
I know people that start watching holiday movies now. I say now because we're recording in November, but like
a little peek behind the curtain.
But I know people that start absolutely already. But I think the thing about it is like every day for a week is a lot.
It's insane to me that people will watch Christmas or just any sort of like winter holiday movie pre-Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because that's the marker, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I have to... I've been swayed a little bit because I work in retail, and Christmas starts like almost before Halloween sometimes, just because of the way retail goes. So like, I'm a little bit more okay with stuff happening pre-Thanksgiving, just because I have to be like I'm around it, like I have no choice with working retail, but. Like, personally, my personal stake is gotta make it to Thanksgiving, and then you can do Christmas stuff, because...
That's when you pull out the Bublé, that's when you pull out the Mariah Carey.
Yes. Except for maybe we can leave Mariah Carey in the drawer, just for a year.
In the Christmas hole where she lives year round.
Just a break for, like, a year. Just one break, please.
Something. So, okay, so we've established... During the week, you have to watch one bad holiday movie.
Yes.
And
listen to all 7 of our bad holiday movies.
Right. You have to listen to all 7 of the bad Coltsmas holiday movies.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to do something that involves a horse? Like, do you just stand at the altar of a My Little Pony and go, I've appreciated you? And then
I like the idea of doing like an intricate ritual that involves taking 2 coconut halves and making like oof clapping sounds. Is there something? Is that anything?
Yeah, it might be. I think maybe every morning you wake up and have to clap the hooves, or maybe you just have to like neigh to the sky.
Now I'm not going to celebrate my
neigh,
own
like a
holiday.
belly neigh.
She doesn't like these suggestions.
Not even the 7 clip clops of Coltsmas.
So what would you suggest?
Well, okay, so here's the thing is like as much as I absolutely love horses, I know that there are some people who do not like them, and it makes me sad, but I respect it because I understand that everybody has their own past and their own things that they have to, you know, work with. So I feel like just I don't know.
I wonder
like
if maybe it should be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think there needs to be a horse appreciation, but I'm wondering if it needs to be something akin to like a manger scene that you set out. So it's just 7 little ponies that you set out like every night.
I love that.
And then
That sounds more reasonable than
No, here's the thing though. I think that like with any holiday tradition, and I say this from a place of like I don't have a large understanding of other religions. I was raised in Christianity, so I have a strong understanding of, you know, Christmas within the Christian traditions. But like Hanukkah is 7 days, right? I think. Again, I don't know. Please don't come for me.
Please inform us.
But they do a thing every night for Hanukkah. So what I'm thinking is, but because the point I was trying to make was that like there are different levels of intricacy that you can do with any tradition. I'm thinking of like the way some people light Advent wreaths and some people don't. And so you could do like, you know, bare minimum 7 little ponies.
Yes.
Right? Doesn't matter what ponies, My Little Ponies, whatever, right? And then the high tier is like 7 hand-carved wood ponies that go in front of a candelabra, and you light 7 candles, and you do a little clip-clop in front, like, every night. Like, no, what you do is you add to it. So first night, 1 clop. Second night, 2 clops, right?
Exactly. Build up to 7.
Right. And that's the, you know, again, intricacies of how far you celebrate this holiday.
Also, at risk of stealing things from culture, we gotta leave some food for the horses. Yes. And like, okay, so people leave carrots for the reindeer, and I'm sure reindeer probably eat carrots, but like horses eat carrots and apples. So maybe both, or peppermints.
Is it like with
you leave out the ceremonial feed bag filled to the brim with the finest oats.
Here's my question. Okay, here's my question. So what you're referencing is a tradition that is kind of associated with Christmas. Like some people that are religious do this, and some people that are agnostic do this. Is where they tell their kids it's Christmas Eve. We're gonna leave some food out for the reindeer
and Santa
and Lord Santa.
And you go outside and you just scatter carrots on the lawn, right?
Right.
And glitter. We did the one year where we did glitter, and I forget what the glitter represented.
Vague memories of that.
Anyways,
magic.
Yeah, thank you.
Magic.
It's been so long. I don't have any of the magic inside of me to remember that that's what glitter equals. But that's the question: is it a mythical horse that we're leaving it out for, or is it like representative with in front of these 7 ponies? We have a little trough that we put carrots in.
I was thinking like inside, not like throwing it out on the ground. Which, I mean, you know, feeding the animals, I'm here for that. But I don't think that there are.
I like the idea. I think you said something, Brittany. I'm not sure if we've expanded on this before. Did you say something about like there being like the magical
like,
horse?
is there a mythical horse?
Like a Santa figure?
Right? Because I feel like that might be too much, in which the spirit of Coltsmas is to like appreciate horses and celebrate bad Hallmark movies. I feel like we might be going a step too far of a mythical horse that comes to your house in the middle of the night and clomps on your...
and then stomps you to death with his big, powerful hooves.
Right? Like, I think that might be too far for what this holiday represents.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an adjacent holiday.
Scratch that.
We need some. So watching the movies, I feel like is good, but I feel like if we're putting little statues out. Like I think we need something like
popcorn,
Hallmark movie related
popcorn.
Okay.
I think if
Red Vines, or wait, no, can we say brand names?
We can.
We have no restrictions.
Listen, the last time that Jessica and I sat down and recorded, we called out Dan Povenmire for no reason.
And literally, literally added him on Twitter.
And added him on Twitter. So, like, we can do whatever we want on the show.
I'm always down to dunk on Dan.
No, it's not a dunk. No, it was a praise. It was a
I love
huge
that guy.
praise.
It was
we can praise him again here if we want.
Absolutely.
So I wonder if, like, maybe...
I'm going to tweet Dan Povenmire real quick while you're talking.
Each, like, pony has, like, you put a piece of popcorn in front of it.
Okay.
Right? Like, you do, like, horse and popcorn. Like, and that's the bare minimum. Mm-hmm. And then if you wanted to add the carrots to it or any other horse food.
Well, I feel like if we've got the horses, and because, like, don't get me wrong, I love horses.
Yeah.
Obviously. We've established that through this podcast. But, like, Coltsmas is like horses are there, but like the main part of it is the bad holiday movies. Yeah. So the feel good holiday movies.
Yeah. Right.
So popcorn is good, I think.
So horse and popcorn. Are we cutting carrots?
I mean, I guess if you really want to throw some carrots, that's your own call.
Again, that's
how
like the highest tier
horses would appreciate
of intimacy with this tradition. I feel like this is a pretty good, and then I think we can add some more stuff next year.
Yeah.
Of like what traditionally you do on Coltsmas.
Right.
Which means I need to go out and get some statuettes right now.
Well, I might be able to help you
I'm sure you do, but here's the thing. Now I want like intricate.
Oh, you're going to go.
You know.
I'm going to go like pulling from what I have.
Right.
So
it's going to be so varied in size.
If I remember, so help me remember, when we actually release this, I will tweet a picture of my 7 horses that I've pulled, and I'm going to, on purpose, make them very different from each other.
Oh, God, okay.
So
is your last one going to be the one that's like 3 feet tall?
I don't own that one.
Oh, okay. I did not realize that.
Well, how tall is...
Like 3 feet? If it comes up to my waist, it's 3 feet.
It might actually be 4 feet. I thought you were talking about the little one.
Well, I mean, you've got 2 fairly big ones.
No, I don't have the little one that you can sit on. Mm-hmm. That was given to somebody else. But I have a bigger one that I can literally sit on.
Yeah.
It's in my room.
There's some large horses, inanimate horses in the adjacent area. Okay, so I feel like we've established Coltsmas pretty well.
Yes.
Do we want to try to make a bad Hallmark movie?
Obviously.
Okay.
That's what we're here for. Oh.
I'm into it.
We've just kind of like blown past, I feel like, the fact that we have a guest.
No, Lachlan is on our show in our hearts all the time.
No, that's true.
And she just happens to be here this time in person.
Against their will, I kind of forced myself into the Zoom call.
I all the time I talk about, like, if we had a third person in our show, regardless of who it was, it would be so rowdy.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited for this to be very rowdy. But yeah, Lachlan is here. Lachlan's going to help us make the first Coltsmas movie of this year. 2021.
Yep.
So I'm ready for it to get crazy.
Funky.
Get zany. Get
wacky. Another thing we've changed is we've changed the way that we're going to be doing our Coltsmas titles.
Right.
So last year we had the 12 Days of Coltsmas, which meant that we could tie each day to one of the things in the 12 Days of Christmas song
with all the birds.
With all the
birds. People.
So many birds.
So many birds.
There's so many birds.
Is there more birds than people? That's what I want to know.
I don't remember. We're not getting into that now because we've...
Hands down. Yes. There's so many birds.
But it is, in fact, 7 days.
Yes.
So
we are breaking away.
Approximately how many birds in the 7 days of Coltsmas?
Zero.
0 birds.
0 birds.
Okay.
I'm Coltsmas
All right,
is
ideal.
anti-birds now.
Anti-bird.
Oh man,
No birds.
I'm loving how deep the lore for Coltsmas is already getting. I can't wait until somebody makes a religion out of this.
So what I will say is that Jessica and I talked about like how holiday movie titles are structured.
Yes.
And there's a lot of variation, of
Yeah.
course, with anything.
Right.
But there's a lot of very simple structures
Mhm.
because you already know what you're getting when you see a title that's structured like this.
Mhm.
Should I reveal our 3 title structures or just let it kind of be okay.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
Nobody gets
But
to know.
I will
until we do
say, so the 3 things we have to kind of come up with this brainstorming session
it. Mhm.
is a noun, a holiday, and a location.
Yeah, we kind of like turn it into Mad Libs
A little bit, yeah.
a little bit. So instead of like full on generating like a title like we do in our regular Cult Classics episodes, we have built a Mad Libs to fill in to create our title to then make our movie out of. So noun, holiday, location.
Yes. And I will say that we can generate stuff and then be like, no,
Yeah.
that's not it. That's not the one.
Yeah, so we are still randomly generating some of the stuff instead of just coming up with it from our own brains, because we want it to get a little wacky.
Yeah.
To get those creative juices flowing.
Vehicle.
Wow, so eloquent.
Can we do like Fast and the Furious, but a Hallmark movie?
I don't know how that would work because Fast and Furious is like the least romantic.
It's all about family, though, baby.
It's so dry in the romance department.
It really is.
And I don't like the word vehicle.
It just feels so,
Yeah, clinical.
yeah.
We could narrowcast to like used car salesman.
A used car salesman for Thanksgiving. I hate it. No.
In Europe.
In Europe. No. Do they have used car salesmen in Europe? They have to.
I don't know.
They have
They have
right?
to. Okay, we're trying a new one. Nope.
Yeah, baby.
Star Wars.
Oh, I was excited
No,
about that one.
we're not Star Warsing it.
Aw.
Application is awful.
Whenever you guys do decide to Star Wars it, please let me know.
Okay. Maybe that'll just be a side episode with just you and I, Lachlan.
All
I
right.
think that could just be just a regular Coltsmas.
Yeah. Cult classics. I
Cult
mean.
classic. Application, is that anything?
Well, eh.
It depends on how you're like interpreting it. Like, are you applying something to something, or are you like doing a job interview?
A resume for Black Friday. Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's bad.
That's set up to be some like really powerful social commentary.
Yeah,
hate
I
it.
don't want to get anywhere close to any sort of social commentary
Yeah,
right now.
I agree.
Coltsmas, that's the other thing. That is the marker of Coltsmas. Coltsmas is fun. Coltsmas is lighthearted and enjoyable, and those things are important. But we'll talk about them a little bit later.
This is not
This
the
is not-
movie for it.
Nope.
I very much doubt that Hallmark or Lifetime is doing any social commentary right now. So
Yeah, right.
I
Netflix
don't-
maybe.
They're not.
Netflix would be the closest, I feel like. Okay. This word is youth.
The fountain of youth.
Now that's something.
Okay.
I feel like that could be something.
Okay.
Because there are the thing I didn't realize about, so I don't watch a ton of Hallmark movies. I do
neither.
want to watch
I'm
the
ill-equipped.
one that is coming out, that's like a castle for Christmas or something, that's got Carrie Elways and I cannot remember
What?
the woman's name who is in it. She's a famous actress. Anyways, it looks awful. I want to see it. But I don't really like watch Hallmark movies. But I am finding that there are more magical Hallmark movies than I thought there were. Because like there are so many Hallmark movies where one of the tropes is like you're the lost daughter of Santa Claus.
Oh yeah.
And like
Yeah, there's a lot of
I'm like, what?
magic.
So like I feel like Fountain
It's
of
Brooke Shields, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like Fountain of Youth could be something.
Yeah, for some reason my brain is going to Road to El Dorado.
Ooh,
But-
great movie.
Is a good
On
movie.
Christmas. I don't think that's anything. I don't think Road to El Dorado, but set at Christmas is anything. Because I don't think that holiday aligns with the freaking Aztecs.
No. Well, and they're also not looking for this Fountain of Youth. They're looking for the Lost City of Gold.
That's true.
But it just gives
Same
me
vibes.
same vibes. And I love Miguel and Tulio.
Yeah.
I did a Miguel and Tulio cosplay with my roommate from college one year for Halloween, and it was fantastic.
They're such great characters.
Yeah.
Is that anything, Lachlan? How do you feel about Fountain of Youth for holiday?
Fountain of Youth is I feel like it's a good launch pad.
Okay. And we can also circle back to like changing the title too.
Uh-huh.
We're not beholden to this exact
to
structure.
The generators.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I'm thinking is it's kind of long. And if we're adding a location, then we've already revealed where the Fountain of Youth is. So it kind of ruins some of the, mystery.
Speed run Hallmark movie.
So you already know the ending based on the title. They make it to Germany.
That's what movies do with trailers these days anyway.
Oh my god, don't get me started.
Yeah, that's the worst. I'm like, I didn't want to know that.
When are we going to get back to mysterious trailers that make you want to go to the movie theater?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care if it's a remake of something I know what's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
Like, leave something up to the imagination so that I spend money.
Yeah, seriously.
I make this a movie podcast every time.
That's okay. It's okay.
Eventually it becomes a movie podcast for a hot second. So what if we took that idea, right? Fountain of Youth, and then we'll just figure out the title after we figure out the plot.
Okay.
So we can go into it and then come back.
Uh-huh.
Or do we want to really stick to the structure and try a different noun?
No, I'm here for it.
Okay.
Lachlan, you...
I'm down to get spicy with it.
Okay. I was like, we keep overriding our guest.
Nah, dude. I'm like I said, I'm just happy to be here. This is already great.
Like I said, Lachlan's been here the whole time.
Yeah, the whole time.
Okay, so Fountain of
I'm actually in the room every time you guys record. I just don't say anything.
Stand there and judge.
That would be so hard.
That would be very hard.
For me, especially. I've got lots of thoughts, man.
Lots of thoughts in that noggin. Okay, so Fountain of Youth. Is it like we're discovering it? Or is it something along the lines of like the Fountain of Youth? Okay, hang on. Bear with me.
Oh.
So you know the structure of a Hallmark movie where it's like the young woman comes to a town that she wasn't meant to be at. She gets stuck there, finds out that the town is going to lose their big thing. It's the factory, or it's the city hall, or it's
the bakery.
The bakery, like, right? Something's gonna get lost, but it's the essence of the town itself, and she gets swept up in the like saving of it. Like, we gotta have the arc to get to where she wants to save it, etc. So what if this town, they know that they're the town around the Fountain of Youth, right? But they've been they're in a place that's been sheltered from the advances of technology and all that, and so they've never been threatened, and then something happens that threatens people finding out and destroying the Fountain of Youth.
Okay.
Isn't this the plot of that one Shyamalan movie, The Village?
I have no idea. I do not watch Shyamalan movies.
Okay, fair.
If it is, please stop us so we can make something.
No, I think there's enough differences.
Okay.
Listen, we're making it a feel-good holiday movie.
Right.
I don't think M. Night would ever consider that.
I don't think Mr. M. Night really had that in mind. His was pretty mean to Joaquin Phoenix.
Do we like that as a starting point?
Yeah, I like that.
Absolutely. As long as this movie isn't mean to Joaquin Phoenix.
Can I be mean to Joaquin Phoenix?
I guess if you like.
I don't know who that is, so
Good.
No comment.
Say what you will about that Joker movie, he's actually a very talented actor.
Jessica's so lost.
I don't know.
We cannot continue this conversation.
Okay. Yep. Avoid. Yep. Changing directions.
My cultural and movie knowledge is very minimal. I'm here for the horses.
We're here for horses and we're here for Hallmark movies.
All right.
So the question...
Yeah, I'll stop going down rabbit holes.
That's okay. We'll just come back around. Okay, so the question is, are we doing, like, the main character... Oh, you have a thought. Please share with the class.
I don't know why I feel like this is so funny, but like if this is a town that is like not really like people don't necessarily know where it is, or I just feel like it's in Canada.
Oh, I was gonna say Ohio.
I was about to say that I have friends who would be offended by that, but the last time I sent them a joke about Ohio being the worst state, they thought it was funny. So
the thing about Ohio, first of all, I have a lot of friends there, and I went to school there for a little bit. And we're so close to Ohio where we live, so we're practically there. Ohio, from what I understand, has like the most astronauts to come out of it of any state.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like, why do people want to leave Ohio so bad?
They want to leave Ohio so bad they go into space.
They go into space.
Yep.
So, it would be a good place to, hide out.
I just feel like in my minimal knowledge of geography, like, I don't know, I don't feel like there's many, like, out-of-the-way places in Ohio. Like, I've driven through a decent chunk of Ohio, and, like, there's a lot of cornfields, yeah, but, like, there's some big cities that, like, if we're gonna pick a state, like, I'd pick, like, Montana.
Alaska.
Well, that's practically Canada.
I was going to say Vermont, which is also kind of Canada adjacent.
Mm.
Like, I guess the question is,
how much do
I hate Canada that I don't want to put it there? I don't hate Canada, but I'm very determined to get in the U.S.
Canada.
for somehow.
Well, okay, because Montana, like, okay. I find it hilarious. I don't know if this is still a thing, but for a while, I feel like I saw, like, 4 or 5 different commercials for different things, be them like phone service or something else, where there's always a little asterisk at the bottom that said not available in Montana.
Oh
no! I feel like there's so many things that are just like anti-Montana.
I mean, if we're feeling Montana, I feel like that's
I know very little about Montana other than there are 2 hotels that I know about there.
How close are you to Montana? Close-ish, or?
I'm a good, 2 states away.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you're closer than we are,
yeah.
But that doesn't mean anything.
No.
The U.S. is a big country.
I've never been to Montana.
You've been to a lot of places, though.
I've been to a good number of places. If you wanted somewhere to be middle of nowhere, I'd say Kansas, because it feels like middle of nowhere to me.
Okay.
I mean, Montana works. It's huge. There's nothing there. They've got 5 cities.
Yeah, and lots of mountains.
Whole lot of mountains. Did you know that they have a mountain range called the Crazies because of how insane it is around there?
Oh wow!
People go insane, or the mountains are just really big.
Who knows?
We don't love.
No, I watched a documentary about a person who looks into missing persons cases, and the Crazies, while being a very young mountain range, are people just get lost in there all the time.
See, that could work.
Okay,
I'm convinced now.
You're welcome. Sorry,
I have no documentary knowledge of crazy mountains, so there we go. So is it in a mountain range?
I feel like yeah. I mean, that would be great to if it's a place that's hidden away and most people don't have access to, then yeah, mountain range would be good, because it's kind of Bermuda Triangle-y, you know, you just everybody just gets lost in the mountains and never finds whatever.
Now here's my other question.
Yes,
is Santa there? Because if we're talking about who would benefit from the Fountain of Youth, I feel like Santa as a mortal being would benefit from it.
He's got his own Lazarus pit.
Well, okay, but if we're talking about that Santa always exists, or maybe not always, but has existed for a long time, is going to continue to exist for a long time, I feel like he's already attained immortal being status, which means that he doesn't need the Fountain of Youth because he's just gonna live for a long time.
But what if he has to take a bath in the fountain every year to stay young? He's not saying
to stay
young.
fresh.
He's staying
to stay at a crisp 65 years old.
Right. He's just not aging past the age that he is.
I don't know why, but I don't like the concept of Santa. So
That's fine.
I don't want to make a Santa movie.
I'm just stuck on the fact that there are Santa movies about the magic of Santa that Hallmark does. But to be fair, one of the movies on my list that I haven't seen is the freaking Vanessa Hudgens Netflix one with the night.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas Night, I think is what it's called. I want to see it so bad.
You talked about that last year.
I know. I didn't get a chance to see it.
This is one of our Coltsmas movies that we have to watch.
Okay, done.
We're only doing one, right?
We could do 7. We just because we can celebrate, spread out. Nobody has to know.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so Fountain of Youth. Now the question is it really the Fountain of Youth or is it something else? Because I literally just referenced a movie where there's time travel. And a night comes through.
Yeah.
So, we could have it be something else. It could be considered, this is where the Fountain of Youth is. And then you get there and you're like, this ain't the Fountain of Youth. This is the TARDIS. And we can't do that.
A Christmas festivity portal.
Takes you to Christmas land.
Takes you to Santa's house.
We can't do
back
Santa.
to Santa.
We can't do Santa.
I'll leave Santa alone. I'm going to put Santa back in the box. Don't worry. I'll put him away.
Put him with Mariah Carey.
Yeah, with Mariah Carey in the Christmas drawer.
If we're going to do Christmas, which I feel like is where we're leaning towards, because that's, at least I know us two, that's more so where we're familiar with, holiday-wise.
I would either do
Lachlan.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, or a made-up holiday.
Or New Year's.
Yeah.
No, Halloween wouldn't work. Well, maybe it would work, but no, I don't think that's the right holiday.
I think that's the right feel.
We did do
Are
spooky
there
already.
Are there Halloween Hallmark movies?
There has to be.
There's got to be, right?
I'm gonna Google it.
I know that there's Disney Halloween movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Disney loves them a good Halloween movie.
Yeah. Or a bad Halloween movie.
Halloween Hallmark movies was already an autofill.
They're all iconic.
The first...
Uh-oh.
So the first 4 listed on Google. Midnight Masquerade. Don't know what that one's about. The cover image doesn't give you much information. Second one, Oliver's Ghost. Okay? Third one, Good Witch, Halloween. Fourth one, October Kiss. So,
yeah.
There's...
I would tear all of those up.
Alrighty.
I'd watch them.
We're already in a good territory. Well, let's go back to the question about the Fountain of Youth. Is it an actual Fountain of Youth, or is it a something else? Portal to somewhere, or it's just a town that's really good at moisturizing, or
Now we've just set it into Eastern Asia.
Well, maybe it's a Eastern Asian town that's got a mirrorverse in Montana.
Yeah.
Straight to the middle of the earth.
That's it's not a portal so much as it's just an elevator.
It's just a hole. Center of the earth.
All the way down. I feel like if we're gonna be doing something with the Fountain of Youth, maybe it is the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah.
But
I'm feeling the magic,
Yeah, but I don't want it to be spooky. Because I feel like you could get really existential very quickly of we've lived forever and we've seen time pass.
Yeah.
We don't need them to be 1,000 years old.
Right.
And unkillable. Don't think that's the vibe here. Is it a restart? Is it a 17 again situation? Right? Where you're suddenly I'm young again. I have to do it all over. Obviously you can't go back because at that point you're doing a restart.
Right. I don't know. The thought in my head was you keep all your memories.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
However long you've lived. But your body gets restored to I was thinking 20-ish. Because I would not want to go all the way back.
I'm not
to
saying...
a baby or even high school.
I'm not saying we need to recreate 17 again with Zac Efron.
No, yeah.
But...
No, I know. I'm just saying, in general, if this was a thing that existed and I was going to do it, I would not want to go back to high school.
If this was a thing that existed, I would not do it. I would simply refuse.
That's fair.
Sorry to those who would go back to their 20s, but I'm different.
That's fine.
I'm still in them, and I hate it here. I'm not coming back.
Right? I mean, technically, we're all in
Yeah,
our
we're all
20s.
in
I'm
our
just
20s.
older than both of you. When you get to me my age, you'll realize it's fine here. Don't go back. So what would be the benefit of that?
Well, I mean, so the thing about being, if we're talking 20s, so like benefit of being in your 20s again is like when you're in your 20s, you have to figure everything out. You've already figured it all out. So, well, maybe not all of it, but you've figured out a good portion of it. And so like you can be 20, like your body is 20 again, and you know how to do it right, you know?
What are we doing right?
Life. Enjoying yourself, not overdoing it.
You're coming away from your previous, like, I was 60 years old. I have a house that I paid off. My body's now 20. I'm 20, and now I own a home.
Right.
Like, that kind of situation.
That, and, like, you know how to, like, not, like, overdo yourself.
You know how to file your taxes.
This is not romantic in
not
any way.
what I was going for, but okay.
I feel like we've lost the magic of what a Hallmark movie is.
Okay.
Which, to be fair, we're making a bad Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
But
I also think that all the times I've been on the show, which I believe is twice, this is how it's always gone down. It goes away from being, like, the pure thing it was supposed to be, and I'm like, actually, it's this now.
you know, that's what we always need, isn't actually, it's this now. But I think with doing, if we're starting off Coltsmas, we want it to be about that holiday.
It's got to be in the spirit.
Yeah, spirit. And so I wonder if, like, maybe the Fountain of Youth needs to be even less impressive.
Okay.
Like, I think the idea of it being hidden away and people accidentally stumbling across it because they're lost in the mountains gives it an air of, like, this is grand, this is the Fountain of Youth. Like, whatever the discovery we go through to be like, no, you're hiding the Fountain of Youth. Right? Within the movie. And then, like, not to go all the way to the Fountain of Youth was the friends we made along the way, but, like, kind of in the middle of, like, this fountain, drinking this water cures you of what ails you, but it doesn't stop your aging process, and you have to come to terms with your mortality.
Well, that's getting a little
again, yeah. But that's the thing. Like, if you take that concept and distill it to a point where it's silly, of like, you know, someone would come in with the idea of like, oh, I'll drink from the Fountain of Youth and I'll live forever, right? Like, that would be what a young buck would come in and be like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do, and some older, kinder person would be able to be like, nobody lives forever,
right?
But you get to enjoy who you are and what you're experiencing.
Make the most of it while you're here.
Yeah, and like the people in your life love and appreciate you, and you love and appreciate them. Take that for what it is. I think that's the spirit of it. Like, not the dark, like, you're gonna die someday.
You're gonna die someday, and not even the Fountain of Youth can stop it.
But just that idea of, like, because I've been thinking about that in terms of, like, storytelling. There's not enough stories, I think, out there that are less about the hero's journey and more about the, like, you live every day in your own skin, and there are people in your life that care about you.
Right.
It doesn't have to be romantic. It doesn't have to be, you know, blood relations.
Yeah.
There are still good memories to be made every day.
Yeah.
Even if all you did was wake up. Because when you're making a cinematic story,
right,
that's not interesting.
Right.
That's not compelling.
Right.
And I say this from the perspective of a storyteller. Like, I do have to balance between this is what people experience every day, and this is the epic tale that I can tell with the tools that I have.
Right.
And so I think that's something along the lines of uplifting those mundane moments.
I had a thought.
I saw it. It was so loud. What's your thought?
I think
watched
very
that
loudly.
happen.
Okay. Hallmark movie, right?
Yes, right.
Hallmark movie, usually, at some point, there is an evil businessman.
Yes.
Who just wants to take over everything and be super rich.
Right.
So what if Doesn't have to be a man, just business person.
Sure.
Who wants to be evil and take over everything and be rich is like, somehow gets wind of like, there is this fountain of youth. Like, oh yes, perfect. I can live forever.
Yeah.
And be super rich. And it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And so they are the main person of the movie. And so they find this place with the Fountain of Youth, but obviously, like we've already established, the Fountain of Youth doesn't do what they think that it does, which is make them live forever. And so, and then there's that, like, personal discovery. There's a redemption arc that I love.
Yeah. I almost feel
I thought you were going to say that the main guy, like, is like, I'm going to open up a bottling plant in the Bottle of Youth, and I'm going to make a fortune.
That would be really good, though. I feel like that
would
be
also be good.
Like, maybe it's a business person who is so their stocks tanked something and their current venture is not working, and so then they catch wind of whatever this thing is, and everyone's like, this is literally a fairy tale, what are you doing? And they're like, every fairy tale has a seed of truth, I'm gonna find out what it is. And they go on this journey to figure it out. But what I'm thinking is they need a plucky sidekick character who's the scientist who can observe the Fountain of Youth and do testing and things that can then verify that this isn't going to make you last forever. It's just really good water or whatever, right? Whatever. There's a little bit of
delicious tasting water.
There's a little bit of magic in it, but I think the magic doesn't work if you're
not
greedy.
Pure of heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Exactly. And so I feel like that's the plot. I feel like that's it, because the only thing would be at the end they would have to either decide to stay or go back to the business world and like tell their business partner that they are done, that they're out.
Make it right.
Right. And they're no longer a business person and they're gonna just live their life, right? We don't have to explain what they're going to do after.
Or they're going to be a good business person.
Okay.
You don't have to leave business to be a good person.
I disagree.
Hot take of the day. Jessica's hot take.
It's a good hot take. I like it. Steaming hot. So, okay. Lachlan, I feel like you should help us develop this bad business person. Like,
because you
the bad business,
That's not true.
Sorry.
We just have.
I've chimed in.
Okay,
but that's what But I feel like this is a character that you would be able to help us develop truly.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's their name?
Oh, their name?
Yes.
Obviously is Chad Billingsworth.
Yes.
That's fun.
That might be a real name. I feel like that came from my memory, so if that's a real person's name, we have to change it immediately.
There's 8 billion people in the world. The likelihood that it is somebody's name is actually pretty high. So like we can just put the disclaimer.
Yeah.
All relation to people living or
it
dead.
Goes at the end of every episode.
Movie.
Well, it doesn't go at the end of this episode, but it goes at the end of every movie.
Yeah.
So
I goofed it. I was thinking of a previous pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Chad Billingsley.
Oh, okay. Well, so it's different.
It's different enough.
Close enough, yeah. Or different enough, I mean. Yeah, Chad Billingsworth.
Okay.
Obviously American, like, I don't know, something tycoon. Maybe he's just like a tycoon.
Sure.
He's always, I don't know. He's a tycoon in general. He's out there. He's looking for the next best thing.
Right.
He's heard about this. He's got to see it for himself. Got to have it for himself. I don't know. And obviously, since it's, well, I guess maybe it's not is this like necessarily a holiday Hallmark movie, or is this one just a Hallmark movie?
I think it's a holiday movie. I think that.
Oh yeah,
I think that if we add in that layer of Christmas, right? Let's just say Christmas, because I think that makes the most sense for this.
Yeah.
Then you have the assistant who is complaining, like not complaining, but is like, but it's Christmas and we're flying out to this city in Montana. And then when we go to this town, it's quaint, it's decorated, it's the festive cheer, but
it's got a year-round Christmas store.
But that's the vibe of the town. Is not only is it like a festive town now. But
it has the magic of Christmas.
Well, okay. I was thinking more along the lines of this town is just like this. They're festive, they're warm, they're welcoming. So Christmas has to be like this because they're already like this.
Right.
And we need to name this town.
Mm.
I'm going to look up what the Latin version of youth is.
Okay.
That is the easiest way to name the town, is to use the word that we're already using. Nope, that is not... Adolescence.
Adolescence.
I mean,
that's just a word.
That's already a word. I don't know how to pronounce this word. There's too many vowels at the beginning.
What if it's like super on the nose? It's just like Rejuvenation Springs or something like that.
That's I was kind of training down that thought, so I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
It doesn't have to be subtle. This is a Hallmark movie.
Yes,
right,
exactly.
And
what mysteries are they supposed to have?
I feel like there's something to be had of like hiding things in plain sight. Of like people are like, that's ridiculous. Like it's too obvious. Like there's no way that it's there because they wouldn't just blast that out to everybody to know. You know.
I like it. Is there any romance in this movie, or is it just about a man turning his life around?
I feel like it's almost too subversive for Hallmark to make a movie that doesn't have a romantic subplot.
There's a couple. I feel like
Are there?
Yeah, I feel like
I guess maybe I'm not too inundated in that particular world.
The thing about Hallmark is they're definitely a lot of romance. That's like the big one, Christmas romance. You're very aware of it. But I think if you're doing, I mean, sometimes there's the additional layer, because I'm thinking again, I've only like read synopses of things, but if we're talking about the Christmas movie where there's the daughter of Santa Claus, like there's a love interest, but the story is about her reclaiming her family.
So, subplot.
Yeah, so is that the subplot?
So I love me a good romance movie.
Yeah.
Like I won't lie. But I also have this thing where like I'm very much pro like let's make something that doesn't have romance in it, because like that's not the only thing that exists in life.
I'm right there with you.
I hate to see a redemption arc that's dependent on a man falling in love with a woman.
Yes.
You know? Like, or even a man falling in love with a man, but the idea that you can't better yourself without another
somebody
person
else helping you, right?
Yeah. I feel like it cuts
a
little bit of that redemption away.
Yeah.
Now, if we wanted a subplot of romance, the scientist assistant can have a love interest.
Yep. And never mind, I'm not going to say that.
I don't know what you were thinking.
You don't want to know.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, horse. Where are the horses?
We're going to put a horse in this one.
I mean, okay, we don't, to be fair, Coltsmas is, part of cult classics, so like horses are appreciated, but I won't say like every Coltsmas movie that we make is necessarily going to have a horse in it.
Maybe there's just like a horse cameo.
I was thinking along the lines of, if we're talking about this being a mountain town with a spring in it and it's at Christmas, they probably have horse-drawn carriages.
I was gonna say they don't have cars.
Oh, maybe they don't have cars.
Ride horses everywhere.
If it's a mountain, like a legitimate mountain town, yeah, for sure. But that, I mean, I think the sleighs and carriages would fit in just fine with that too.
Oh yeah. If you ride horses everywhere, you also have horse-drawn things. Not everybody wants to ride their horse everywhere.
Which I think would be, how does this man get here? I know this is not relevant to the plot.
Friendly Christmas cowboys.
But I'm just thinking, if this is a man who is used to luxury, who is used to everything being done for him, how does he end up in this horse-based town?
Well, I mean, if he's so obsessed with the idea of, like, obtaining this fountain of youth, like, you could have a whole, montage of him, like, climbing the mountain and, hacking through brush or whatever. Because obviously, if this place is, like, a mythical, quote-unquote, place that people are like, that doesn't really exist because, they don't people don't know that the Fountain of Youth really exists, kind of like it's just this legend. It's like there's not going to be tour guides that are going to be like, let me take you up the mountain to Rejuvenation Springs. I mean, unless we want there to be mythical, magical tour guides that are like, let's take you there.
I was going to say he flew on in his like private helicopter,
Ooh.
landed in the middle of town, makes a big splash. They're like, who's this big business boy? What's he doing here? Helicopter can't take back off. Blizzard rolls in. He's stuck.
Oh,
I like that.
And that's how he like he starts asking around town about the Fountain of not really youth but kind of youth. And they're all like super evasive about it, obviously outsider. But as he like talks to the townspeople, learns that maybe I shouldn't be being as a big bad business boy as I have been. Maybe there's more to life. And they're like, you're finally ready. And they introduce him to the, I don't know, something along those lines.
I think you could do it a little faster.
Or
no, I like it. No, I think if you just pick up the pace with it, as like he comes into town, he tries to charm his way to understanding where the Fountain of Youth is, and everybody knows that like because it's magical in some way. Everybody knows that when a newcomer comes in, they're looking for the Fountain of Youth, so they're like gonna be a little coy, and they end up putting him to work of like, okay, I know you're asking questions. Can you please hang this sign for me? Can you please fix this door for me? Like just like little things to start to show him like a caring hand. And I think we're gonna reach a pinnacle where the townspeople think he's changed, but he hasn't changed enough. And so then they introduce him to whatever the spring is. He sneaks a little bit into his pocket, gives it to his scientist assistant, and says, "Okay, look at this. Tell me what you say. Tell me what you think, and then we're gonna start to bottle this and take it out." He's constantly trying to get signal, and he's really close to getting a full phone call, and so that's the pinnacle, right? When the people of the town think that he's betrayed them.
Oh yeah.
And then something changes, right? Maybe the assistant stands up to him. Like, after analyzing it, being like, there's nothing in this water.
Right.
You're going to destroy these people's livelihood for your own ideas of a brand.
Right. I feel like also, like, a big component, to me anyways, of, like, a redemption arc of somebody who is very selfish is that moment where they have spent enough time with somebody that they actually find that they do care about them and something is happening to them where they have to help them, save them, rescue them, whatever exactly it is. So I don't know if it's like a townsperson that he becomes friends with that he like has to save and realizes that like he does care about people and you know the water is not all that important, or maybe it's something happens to the assistant because he's already got a, you know, relationship with the assistant where they're, you know, buddies. Well, maybe not buddies, but like they've known each other for a while.
Maybe there's a pinnacle townsperson that is like the wise old
mayor.
Well, I was going to talk about a storefront. The mayor could also have a storefront. If it's a small town, the mayor can have a couple jobs.
Yeah.
So the mayor, I think, should be a woman.
Okay.
I think she has the year-round Christmas shop that Lachlan was saying before.
Oh, yeah.
And then she also is the mayor. But, you know, she works there and there's some shop assistants and stuff. And for some reason, Chad is like, she's the person to get the information from, right? And so we've developed this relationship. And then I think maybe the shop catches fire. The call goes out. The Christmas shop is on fire. And right at that moment, his phone dings. He's got reception to be able to make the big call to get the second helicopter in to take all the water away.
Right.
Does he take this call or does he help save the shop?
Right.
I think that's the moment, right?
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
And then he takes the call, bankrupts the town, and gets out of there with all the money he can shove in his pockets.
We do that as a dream sequence. And then it cuts back to the fire and he goes, no, I'm not going to do that.
Oh my gosh, you totally
tosses the phone over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Into the Fountain of Youth.
Yes!
Yeah!
I think it depends. It depends on how long this movie is. If we need to pad it out, we can do a whole sequence where he like.
We'll just add it in as one of the deleted scenes, the bonus features on the DVD.
Where he just
there's like a lot of filler of the Christmas Cowboys teaching him how to ride, and like he does a day at the year-round Christmas tree farm.
No, that's the real stuff. We'll keep that in.
Oh, okay.
I think the alternate
yeah.
alternate ending of him deciding. No, but I don't know. I think that might not be a bad idea. I, as a filmmaker, so against. It was all a dream.
Oh yeah.
But it's a Hallmark movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Lifetime movie. It's a Netflix movie.
Well,
I think we can get.
We're
away
getting
with
corny with it.
Yeah, I think we can get away with it.
And like, I've seen stuff. Now, to be fair, this is international media that I consume, not American. But there's like a thing that it's like they're faced with a situation, and the situation, you see it like play out a certain way, and then it does the like fade thing, and you're back to where you started. And so it was basically portraying them imagining the outcome of a certain trajectory that they would take, a certain choice that they would take. I feel like you could do that with this, where he's like imagining, like, if I take this phone call, this is what happens. And it's like, oh, I don't want that end result.
Yeah.
Let me throw my phone over my shoulder into the fountain of youth.
Yeah. I think it depends on how we structure it, because I'm thinking of, so when it premiered in theaters, I saw The Green Knight. And I don't want to spoil The Green Knight. There's a moment where he gets to the point of his journey that he was taking the journey to. Mm-hmm. And then he runs away. Mm-hmm. And you see a continuation of the rest of his life from him running away. Right. And then there comes a moment at the end where it ends. Like, his existence ends, essentially. Mm-hmm. And then we're back to that moment, right? But it's, in that moment, it's not played out as it was a dream or it was, like, imagining. It's kind of played out as though the mythical being that he was communicating with gave him this vision, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
So, but after that vision ends, then the movie ends. Okay. So there's not a secondary trajectory of this is the good ending.
Oh, okay.
It's like, these are the things that could be. Because you've made the decision to not do that, now your options are limitless, essentially. You've shown courage, essentially, is what the, again, there's not a lot of plot. Yeah. It's hard to kind of parse what's happening. Yeah. But that was what I took away from it. So, there's two ways I think we could go about this alternative ending where he scoops up all the water and, is a bad guy, is this an imagining of, if I do this, I truly am a bad person, poof, back to the fire, I'll save the fire, or is it like this is the worst thing that could happen, poof, back to the fire, I know I'm making the right decision, we put the fire out, and then like maybe one other scene is over. Because there's two different ways we could go. Yeah. Because we could do one little scene and it's over, or we could do this whole like, he has a heart-to-heart with people, and then we finish up the romantic subplot with the assistant. Like, there are some options there.
I think that the second one, where after all that happens, he has like a heart-to-heart with people, like makes more sense for a Hallmark movie. Yeah. At least in my humble, very well-informed opinion.
That's why we bring people on, is for their vast Hallmark knowledge.
Does anybody in the network or anybody that's going to be a guest like actually watch Hallmark movies?
Glenn.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
She was very excited about it last year.
Yeah. I think that I think there are some people. And here's the thing too. Our podcast is not typically about Hallmark movies.
No. This is a special event.
So that is A-okay. Okay, so let me sum up what we've created. Chad Billington. Billingsworth. Billingshun.
It's all interchangeable.
Maybe that's
He's got like 6 last names.
Nobody actually knows what his last name really is.
I was just thinking, like, would it be a funny comedic device if no one could say his last name correctly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Because that's the best.
He's
trying to be on his way to the top. He's not on the top. He's trying to be on his way, which is why he's pursuing the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah.
Somebody told him something, and he decides to take a private helicopter with his assistant. They land in Montana in the mountains. As soon as they land, blizzard rolls in. So here's the assistant's romantic interest is the helicopter pilot.
Oh.
Because the helicopter pilot is also stuck unless one of them can drive this flying machine.
That's fair.
I think that could be fun.
I forgot that was a character that existed.
Helicopter. Well, I mean, they don't have to be. Because you can have just like they show back up at the end, like, you ready to go? Let's go. But I think it would be funny if we just pull them in as their only function is fly helicopter, be romance partner.
Yeah.
Yep.
So then, okay, so we fly in, we're snowed in. Chad, charming, little bit greasy, like in the charm, is like, I'm going to get all the knowledge in this town. If I'm stuck here, might as well find out where the Fountain of Youth is. Because there are 5 fountains in the center of town, and then there are several on the outsides. So you, like, even though you see a fountain, maybe might not be the right one.
Right.
And it's also snowing, and so they're iced over.
Yeah.
So it's really pointless. So Chad charms the people of what's the name of the town again?
Rejuvenation
Springs,
or
something like
Rejuvenation Springs.
I almost said Radiator Springs.
Radiator Springs. This movie takes place in the Cars universe.
No.
Okay.
No.
Rejuvenation Springs
Oh,
charms people, finds out that the mayor also owns the year-round Christmas shop, goes in, starts pulling information from the mayor. Constantly throughout these scenes is trying to get reception, having a hard time. It's a blizzard. They're in the mountains. Poor phone reception. Because he's going to call whoever the big boss is back in New York City.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we reach something happens where the mayor shows Chad the real fountain. He sneaks a bit of the fountain in a little vial he has in his pocket, brings it back to the assistant, says, analyze this. And then we're going to reach a moment. The assistant is revealing what's in the fountain water. Then clang, 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 the fire alarms go off in the town. The fire bells to say, hey, bucket brigade.
Fire bell.
Yeah, everybody, bucket brigade. He goes out. As he goes out, his phone rings. The reception is back. Big boss is calling. And so we have all 3 of these things happening.
Do we have a realization from the townspeople that he has betrayed them?
I think
that he's slimy.
Well, I think that's in this imagining that comes next.
Okay.
Because what comes next is the bad ending, quote unquote, of he takes the phone call, he steals the water, the people are betrayed, he goes back to New York City, he's unfulfilled and realizes he's a bad person.
Right.
Yeah. Back to the fire.
Yeah.
He makes the
Star
decision
wipe.
to be a good person.
Yeah.
Star wipe for sure, like a heart wipe.
Oh yeah.
Heart wipe. Yeah.
That
feels like tonally appropriate.
Right, and then throws the phone into the fountain. Helps save the store. We have heart to hearts. And we wrap up the romantic tension between the helicopter pilot and the assistant. Is that...
Maybe it's like that episode of Community where Abed is like constantly having an adventure in the background of the show. Like in the movie, you can see them like talking in the background. There's no lines associated, but they're constantly falling in love in the background.
I love it.
Okay.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
Because it gives us
It's
space.
a fun little Easter egg.
Yeah, to not have to write the actual B plot. And then we've wrapped up the movie. We also, I forgot to mention that the town it's festive, it's Christmas time.
Yes.
That's kind of the overall like setting is at Christmas.
Yep.
Did I do it? Did I wrap it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Them's done it.
I had a thought that is not like the most important thought. It's just a minor little detail. I was thinking, in the interest of just making it kind of clear that the romance is not between Chad and the mayor.
Sure.
Is that maybe in Chad's like trying to, get information, he does try to like quote unquote romance the mayor and finds out that the mayor is already married.
Yeah.
Happily married.
Very happily married.
To, I don't know who, but somebody else.
Someone else. We'll figure it out later. I mean, maybe it's not even mentioned. Maybe it's just like a little ring wave of like, sorry, bud.
Not gonna work.
Sorry, bud. I like it. I like that a lot.
Okay.
We did run into one problem.
What's that?
We need to name the movie.
Yes.
We need, because we threw out youth as the name.
Uh-huh.
So with our Mad Libs, I feel like maybe in Rejuvenation Springs.
Oh, I was going to say in Montana.
Or in Montana. Either one of those. I think location is
in the crazies.
There is the thing.
In the crazies.
So.
And it's Christmas.
Christmas. I just think Christmas in Montana is too broad.
Okay.
I feel like it needs to be.
Well, wasn't there a noun that goes with it too?
Yeah, we could do a noun for Christmas in Rejuvenation Springs.
Okay.
I don't know. The thing about the way that title is structured, it makes it seem as though like the main character would be wanting something good. And I just think a business for Christmas and Rejuvenation Springs is not it.
What if we just cut out the particle at the beginning?
Sure.
And just, it's something blank for Christmas in Rejuvenation Springs. So it's not just a singular thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it can be a concept.
The business boy of Christmas.
Business boy of Christmas.
Okay, what if it is, instead of a blank for Christmas, what if it's a Christmas adventure in Rejuvenation Springs? Or a Christmas something... A Christmas...
That's the best sounding title that I think we've come up with.
Or it could be just a Christmas venture.
Venture?
Because that's businessy.
Venture is good.
Yeah, venture is pretty businessy. A Christmas venture in Rejuvenation Springs.
Is that it? Is that what we're doing?
Do we like that?
That feels good to me. I like the use of the word venture.
I do too. That's very smart. If we feel good about a Christmas venture in Rejuvenation Springs, that would make this the first day of Coltsmas.
Woo!
Woo!
We've done it.
We got there.
We got there eventually. So thanks for listening to this longer than normal episode, but I think that we've truly created a Coltsmas, a classic, a holiday movie. Netflix, call us. I think we've got something for you.
Cult Classics is part of the Pocket Podcast Network, which Lachlan is also part of the Pocket Podcast Network. Lachlan, would you like to talk about any shows or anything?
Yeah, I have one show called The Ghoul Tank that is seemingly perpetually in hiatus. There's plans, or not necessarily plans, there is want to bring it back. You can find it on all podcast platforms. I think the episodes that exist are pretty good, and there are, fingers crossed, it's coming back hopefully soon.
We'll cross all our fingers and our toes.
Yes, agreed.
All the fingers, all the toes.
So you can find us, Cult Classics, on Twitter and Facebook at Cult Classics PPN. Lachlan, what's the Ghoul Tank's socials?
At Ghoul_Tank on Twitter. I think we have a Tumblr, but I think it's just ghoultank.tumblr.com. And those are kind of the only ones that ever have any activity on them.
Listen, we can do Barn Special 2.0, where get us to 1,000 new followers and get Ghoul Tank to 10 new followers on Twitter. So it's not as ambitious. And then that way, maybe we'll add... So what if we added 10 of their followers to our count? So if
I like that.
If Ghoul Tank gets 10 new followers, we can claim them as part of our 1,000 new followers.
Okay.
And that gets us closer to interviewing a horse in a barn.
Yeah. We'll do it at Halloween to make it Ghoul Tank.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Love it.
We'd like to thank John S. Quinpuerta for our extra special holiday intro and outro music.
And remember,
don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Pocket Podcast Network. Quality programming right to your pocket.